Buenos dias, Gunners Collective TV. Back at it, you already know. Like a torta with some bad habits. Bye up, bye up. Let's get to the intro. Welcome back to the channel. And if you haven't already hit that like and subscribe button, make sure you go ahead and do that. Put your notification bell on all so that way you're directing the direction of the dope content that the gun stays kicking. And I appreciate your support, man. I'm very humbled. Happy Sunday. Last day for a fun day. Back to business as usual come Monday. Orale, lighter shade of brown. You know what? I wanted to do something special for a special someone, man. I wanted to send a big happy birthday shout out to a big time supporter. You know, we get supporters from everywhere, from up north, from down south, from the west, New York, Texas. It doesn't matter where you're at, man. If you're feeling the flavor, I appreciate you, man. I know there's a lot of guys that work hard. They're out there taking care of their families. They're well deserving, man. And they look forward to getting home, popping a pistol, man, kicking back and laughing a little bit and watching my videos. And for that, I'm very humbled, man. So I wanted to give a big birthday shout out from your old lady, man, to you, Edward Galvan from DHS, aka Sharky from DHS Coachella Valley, man. Hey, a big happy birthday. Your wife wanted to do something special for you, bro. And she was like, hey, and for no other reason, man, can you guys give him a birthday shout out, yourself and Dubs? Well, voila. There you go. Hey, watch out. Now show me your for the happy birthday shout out. Happy birthday to Edward Galvan. Again, man, Sharky from DHS, man, Coachella Valley. What is that, man? Is that Desert High Springs or what? Is that what that is? I don't know, man. But hey, shout out to you, bro. Real talk. Anyways, man, let's get to the content of the day. As you see from that thumbnail, you can see Cain Velasquez is all happy and shit. He's smiling, right? And hey, and why shouldn't he be? We're talking about an individual that was incarcerated on a righteous ass case, putting it down for his family. With all this mess going on with this dude, Jake Harrell, this piece of shit, right? That has several situations where he's done bad things to children, right? It's good to celebrate a man that is protective of his. Okay, for those of you that don't know, of course, you know, Cain Velasquez got locked up, you know, on a shooting that basically was the aftermath of something allegedly happening to his child. Now, I say allegedly because the guy has not yet been convicted, who is basically facing time over that situation. But Cain took matters into his own hands. He did what any real righteous father would do, and he said, ain't no way this guy's going to breathe. Not if I'm around. Now, Cain Velasquez is a pretty well-known individual, being the very first Mexican heavyweight champion of the world in the UFC, and just being a well-respected person in his community. You know, there was a lot of people that were tripping when he got locked up. There was a lot of free Cain shirts made. I myself have been an advocate for free Cain, and don't think he should be there, but understand the laws that he broke and understand why he's there. Now, he got a lot of love. And quietly as it's kept, Cain Velasquez should be out around December, January at the latest. He's doing a little slap on the wrist. He's doing a little turnaround, right? It ain't much time. You got to understand, this is a man that sat in the Santa Clara County Jail for over a year fighting this case with no bail. Never seen that happen before on a non-murder case. I never seen someone get no action at bail for the longest, man. But I think they were just trying to lay a demo down and make an example out of Cain. Regardless of that, Cain is now in Soledad, Chole, doing his time, a very well-known prison. Now, he's on a lower yard. He's on a 2-yard. He's on an integrated yard, a 50-50 yard. Let me explain it to you, right? That means Cain Velasquez is doing his time around programmers, people that are actually dropped out of the gangs or just want to program and go home. Look, I'll tell you guys right now, in the California Department of Corrections, if you're involved in the gang business, if you're active, yards like this are considered trash yards. They're considered no good. You know, these are the yards that people that want to program and go home go to, and dudes that want to be knuckleheads and still be in the business or with the business in the mix, they can't function on that yards. So what happens when you go to these type of yards? Okay, if you're an active gang member, if you're associated, if you're still with the business, if you want to be considered general population, you want to do your time on 4-yard 180s, 3-yard 270s, all these different fucking classifications that they got, then I know as far as the Norteño movement went, you had 72 hours to get up off that yard, meaning you had to go take flight on someone, lay a fucking vicious ass demo down and get on. Didn't mean you had to go kill someone on the yard. They'd prefer that if you could do that. But, if you ain't got that in you, then you could definitely go on the yard and just swing on someone, take flight, handle your business. And so that way you have a lockup order and a write-up that says, hey, I was sent to this prison, a bad yard, but at the same time, I got off where I was mad at. You always hear people talking about they went to a yard and they got off. That's what it means. Now, it happens in north, south, white. A lot of the brothers, some brothers will get off if they don't want to be there. Most brothers will stay just because they're trying to do their time and get the fuck home. Their politics are a little bit different. Not as vicious and violent as, say, Mexicans and whites. But, hey, that doesn't mean they still won't sock you in your fucking face. That's how it goes down. Now, Cain Velasquez was sent to Soledad, a 50-50 yard, basically an integrated yard, a programming yard. And that means there are some guys that still will consider themselves gang members, even though they can't go back to the main line. They can never go back to a 4-yard or 3-yard without getting poked a whole lot of times, right? But it's their story. We'll let them tell it. So if you have a homeboy that gets out and says, I paroled on the level 2 fucking Soledad, best believe he wasn't in there putting in no work. He was probably in that motherfucker trying to give Cain Velasquez a massage or get an autograph. That's true stories. So Cain looks happy. There's a new photo of him that has surfaced, man, to the internet, and he's with another individual. And Cain, I've never seen someone look so happy to be in prison. But let me explain to you the difference about Cain Velasquez doing prison time compared to you or myself doing prison time. See, there's going to be hardship and struggle for a lot of people. If you don't have a reputation or a well-known name, there are some chances where you might get to a yard and, hey, you might mind your business. You might go in there to program and just do your time, and you might get caught up in a whole lot of bullshit because those that involve themselves and stick their nose in drinking and gambling and bullshit like that, you're going to have some problems, a whole lot of problems. Those that go in and that are not very well known and no one knows who you are, you might meet up with the wrong person, man, that feels some type of way about you, just doesn't like the way your breath looks, right? Not smells, but looks. He can see through the green mist, and he can see that you're a bullshitter. There's people that go in there, they're liars. They lie a lot. They get called on their bullshit. They will also get excommunicated from the yards. Just because you're going on a programming yard doesn't mean everybody's about the program. There are some guys that they consider the program prison protocol program, and they're going to program on your ass. Now, the reason Cain Velasquez in this newest picture looks so happy is because none of that shit pertains to him. Now, he's a man, and he's in prison, and iron, steel sharpens steel, and iron will hit iron, right? Doesn't mean Cain Velasquez can't get whacked just like anyone else. But the yard he's on, the program he's involved himself in, his reputation and who he is, has garnered him a lot of attention in the positive rather than the negative. And this is what I knew what would happen. There was people when he first got locked, is Cain going PC? Is Cain, well, look, it's hard to tell you, Cain's already PC. Okay, they PC'd up Cain Velasquez in Santa Clara County Jail. He was brown shirting it, right? Cain Velasquez went from there to a non-active yard on CDC, meaning he's programming. But he's not obligated or expected to be in the mix. See, he's not a gang member. He doesn't run in them circles. He might be cool with gang members and be social and might be fucking, he can communicate with them. But as far as him running with the North or the South, Cain's not about that life. He never has, and he's not expected to be. Now, definitely, I'll tell you the one time and the only time that there will be expectations put on Cain, but we'll get to that in a minute. So Cain looks happy. Cain looks like he's doing a good program. I've seen several pictures of him. I've talked to a person who paroled from there that did time with Cain. They said Cain's a happy-go-lucky guy. He's just happy to be getting this time over with, doing what he did, and there is no remorse as far as why he did it. I think the remorse is that he can't be with his family like we all can out here on the streets, freedom, and probably regretting the fact that he had to, it ruins his reputation as far as the community and civilians, people that expect more out of him. They expect him to be the face of USC, or they expect him to be a role model. He's my role model. Shit, Cain Velasquez did what I would do 10 times over. Hopefully, I don't have to go through that, right? Hopefully that shit never arises with my family. But I understand his situation. Cain is doing his time and he's going to get out. Cain Velasquez is not the type of person that's going to go back to prison. He's not a criminal. He's not involved in criminal activity. In fact, he's a pillar of the community that just lost it like any father would and did his thing. So from what I see from this picture, he looks pretty happy. Now, he is on, like I said again, a 50-50 yard. But who does that matter to? When we talk about prison yards and people try to expose people for they were on this yard or that yard or the SNY yard or the PC or the level 2 or the 3 or the 4 or whatever, right? What does it really matter on the streets? There's a lot of people that could care less. Prison is prison. In the gang community, in the street life, yes, people are going to question your activity and where you were at. If you say you paroled off a level 4 180 yard, you're going to get a little bit, tiny bit more respect than someone who paroled off a 3 yard 270 or someone paroled off a 2 yard, right? But prison is prison. You can get whacked on the 1 just like you can get whacked on the 4. Norte, Soul gang. You like how I did that? Cain Velasquez is having it his way like a Burger King. He's walking around that yard just chilling, doing this thing. Ain't no one messing with him, right? Got to respect this. See, he's going to get a lot of respect in prison for what he's in there for. First of all, he's Cain Velasquez. He'll beat the shit out of you if you try to get questionable on his charges. We know that right off the top. Now, that doesn't mean people are fighting in there, but on the yard he's on, there ain't too much fucking pleito going. There ain't too much people tripping. I mean, this is Cain Velasquez we're talking about. He's a big boy. He's got major mitts and hands. He's well known and he's a cool guy. From what I hear, man, he's in there just being cool, doing his little programs, trying to make it better of himself. See, this is what everyone visualizes when they go to prison. This is what everyone hopes and dreams and wants, that they can go in prison and better themselves, that they can, maybe get, some education while in there, strive for some, maybe get some college courses or your high school diploma or GED. Maybe you could take a class that'll help you get out and learn how a resume builder, help you build a resume. There's a lot of different things in prison rather than just going in there and having to whack people and stab people and kill people on behalf of the gang, or because you got caught up owing money or debts and drug. That life in there, it's real. It's as real as it gets. And there's people that fall into that abyss and they'll never get out. They'll never smile in their pictures like Cain Velasquez. The reason Cain is smiling is because he's in there just doing time and bettering himself. People say that, hey, when you go to prison, you need to suffer. Not always. Prison is a program to help you understand what you did and so you don't do it again. Now, there's a lot of deterrence in there. But a lot of those restrictions and deterrents you place on yourself. Okay? If you want to be a gang member and fit into the reindeer games, you're going to get reindeered. You're going to get poked with the antlers. Like, you're going to go in there and best believe the expectation is that you're going to defend the household. You're going to be involved to a certain level. Now, that doesn't mean every gang member gets called. Their number gets called. They have to stab someone and do life in prison. It doesn't work that way. But a lot of you little youngsters with these punches, pilot haircuts, and peanut painted fingernails that are feeling real sparkly with 13s and 14s all over you, if you go to jail and you have a Huelga bird or a 13 or a 14, guess what? Your number is going to get called quicker than the OG that's just in there doing time. I'm going to explain to you why. Why? Because now you have marked yourself and let it be known that your allegiance is to this group. So you can't, them things ain't for free. Them things are copyrighted, homie. You're not going to get a Norte or Sur on you and not step up for it. Case in point, Tommy Gunn, Sur gang. I'll be doing a video about him later on. All that Sureño and this and that, and I represent the 13 on the wall and the lettering and my check. I bet you never see someone that raps like me, dog, right? All that. Then he gets his ass to county jail and he's like, my check, I might drop out check, right? He said, then now he's right back in the booth, like the truth, like I told you what, in his SSP again, and Pics and Tulare County, and you could tell by the writing on the wall, right? But we could tell on the writing on the wall, we could go, man, that you went into jail and was like, oh, hell no. And reasons being, when you're talking that my check stuff and you're about a gang, then you're expected. The expectations is you have to handle business. If not, guess what? You get fucking ramifications. In case you guys don't know, it's called a DP or a chequeada. This is what happens. Especially for the Sur gang, for the Norte gang, you have to write a fucking 1,000-word essay, do a whole bunch of burpees, or get stabbed. Those are your options. Guess what? You don't even get to pick it. The man who's calling the shots does. It's just how it is. Cain Velasquez is not going through all that. Cain Velasquez is on a programming yard programming, and he will be coming home. He hasn't received no 115s. He hasn't received no infractions. In fact, the cops, from what I heard, they're cool with them. Everybody's chilling in there with him, and he looks pretty happy. And why wouldn't he be? He's coming home to his child, to his wife, to his family. He's going to move on, but he's making the betterment of the situation that he's in. He's educating himself. He's involved in programs. This is what everyone wishes they could do in program, but they want to, or in prison, but they're too busy being gangsters and chilling and all this, that they go in there and they fall into the wrong clutches of the wrong fucking propaganda. And guess what? Next thing you know, they went from doing 35 months to 35 years. It's unfortunate, but that's the life. When people say, well, you know what you signed up for? Nah, no. No one ever told me I could, I'm going to turn it into a life term because some homeboy's mad because you slept with his old lady. You know what I'm saying? No one told me that. If we had a riot and this motherfucker didn't jump, I raise my hand. I'll plaque at him. You know what I'm saying? Get the fuck out of here, bro. You're untrustworthy. We can't trust you. But if you want me to fucking whack someone because he slept with your homeboy's old lady that doesn't even exist anymore, your homeboy, he's already moved on. He's with 10 different fat chicks already. But back in 92, he slept with your fucking homegirl who happened to be with the homeboy. And now you fucking catch up to him 25 years later and you want to whack him. But you're not going to do it. You're going to have a little youngster from Soho or Merced do it. And if not, we're going to stab you guys 100 times. I got bullshit, right? So there's different situations, but I'm just throwing that into perspective. That's the facts. Now, the facts even more is that Cain Velasquez is doing well and he's going to come home. What's going to happen when he comes home? The same thing that happens when every parolee comes home. He's going to be on parole. He's not going to be on high control parole. Maybe because it's Cain Velasquez, they might try to do some extra, but I highly doubt it. He will be on parole. He's probably going to be on paper parole, meaning that he'll go check in the first few times. Then his officer's going to be like, hey, we'll come see you. Don't come see us. It's basically called paper parole. You send in a little fucking thing. How you doing? Where's your job? Any new updates? If you moved, got a new phone number, whatever. And they look at it. You might have to, I don't know if he's going to have to piss test because his crime doesn't really involve gangs or guns. Oh, it does involve guns, but it doesn't involve drugs or something like that. So it's going to kind of depend upon what they feel about Cain. But this new picture that surfaces speaks 1,000 words. And I just wanted to do this quick video, this little positivity video, because people need to do their time like Cain. Now, I understand he's different. People know that he'll whip ass. He's not affiliated with gangs, but he's doing time the way you're supposed to do it. It doesn't matter what fucking yard he's on. There, I seen this one dude. He's a PCK. Tell Cain he's a PCK. You tell him that, Mr. Hardcore Gang member. You tell Cain Velasquez that he'll slap the motherfucking taste out of you and your old lady's mouth, just hitting you. Whatever. If she kissed you last night, he's gonna knock that motherfucking tongue kiss off your tongue. I'm telling you right now. No one's approaching him. No one's gonna fucking disrespect Cain. No one's doing any of that because they already know what time it is with him. And even more so than that, he gets a lot of respect. Any man that goes into prison for protecting his family and his kids is going to get respect because it's a righteous case. He went in there and he handled business like a man should. And no matter if you're in a gang, no matter if you're in a gaggle or a group, everyone respects someone who stands on business and handles business for his peoples. Now, at the end of the day, people like this dude fucking Jay Carl. What's up with him? Well, we'll be doing a video about him and another individual on Monday, right? And I'm going to break down some serious actions and what's going on with him. I got some new info. So we're going to break down that. But I just wanted to do this quick video on Cain. I will be doing a video on Soul Gang later on, man. So make sure you tap in. Ooh, wait, he got caught in a very, very crazy predicament. We'll just leave it like that, right? They say what you do in life, you do to yourself, right? If he's doing this to himself, that's gay. He ain't going to last too long. We'll just say that, and we'll save it for later. Again, I want to give a big shout-out to Edward Galvan, Sharky, man, from DHS. What's up, brother? I appreciate all your support. Your wifey, she loves you a lot, bro. She got a lot of love for you. She tapped in personally. Was like, hey, Gun, can you do this for me? I said, I got you, girl. I got you. Again, this is your birthday present from her. She wanted you to have a special one, and I hope this is special in your heart. You can always go back and watch it. Saw you, man. Edward Galvan, Sharky from DHS. Happy birthday, brother. Real talk. As far as Cain Velasquez goes, I think it's going to be a beautiful day when he gets out. You know, he looks like he's in there just chilling, gaining some weight, looking tanned up. You know, Soledad ain't that bad. I've never been there, but from what I hear, man, it's just programming like a motherfucker. Like I said, that doesn't mean she won't pop off. But, you know, a lot of these guys are getting a lot of hatred. I have a homeboy from my neighborhood just paroled a while back. It was on what we consider 50-50 yards back in the days. Now it's integrated program yards, right? And oh, man, you ain't a good homie, bro. You was on that programming yard. Oh, so you would have been fucking, he'd be more of a homie if he was on that never getting out again yard? Nah, not everybody wants to do that. I mean, there's homeboys that have built their bed and they're going to build a barrel and lay in it, right? But there are homeboys that want to come home. They want to be with their kids and their family. And how are you going to hate on a man that wants to do good in life? You know, look, we all know what we signed up for when we get into gangs. But just like you sign up for something, you can sign out. Hey, guess what? I don't want to do that no more. I'm cool, man. Hey, I've sweat, blood, time, tears, all that. I've given it up. What more do you want from a person? Hey, it doesn't say when you become a gang member at the end of this rainbow, you got to go do life in prison every time. Okay? There's a lot. And then you know what's crazy is you got homeboys that never put in work, never did a damn thing, sold a little bit of dope in the hood, so they got a little reputation. But these are the guys that are getting all the love now. The dudes that I never did time. Oh, this the homie. He's active. He ain't active. Motherfucker never did nothing. He actively can't even put on deodorant. It stinks. His fucking reputation stinks. Come on now, man. But motherfuckers that put in work, it's only a matter of time before you find yourself on the yard or crossed up or having to do something you don't want to do or having to do something that you shouldn't have. And then there it is. Now your reputation, your fucking career, everything is in the wash. You're washed up. And now you got a whole bunch of fucking Rudy Poop gangsters, dudes that never had done nothing. These sparkly motherfuckers running around talking about you're a piece of shit and you're a dropout. Well, guess what, homie? When are you going to drop in? That's the question. Anyways, Cain Velasquez is doing well. He will be out in December or January, depending upon his earliest projected release date, but he is right around the corner. And I seen this new picture, and I just wanted to share it and say, man, my shout-outs go to Cain Velasquez for doing time like a man does and not getting caught up in bullshit that's unnecessary. For those of you that are like, oh, he's no good, he was in PC. Well, how about you go to Santa Clara County Jail, man, and go see what it'd be like one time for your mind. Thumbs up or thumbs down. Heavy's going to be the head that wears the crown. I'm going to continue to strive, struggle, and strive for what I truly believe in. That's the betterment of all people. Shout out Sharky again from DHS, man. Thank you for tapping in, brother. Respects. Happy birthday.